welcome back. We're here with Isaiah from Signature Strategies. Isaiah, thank you for coming on the podcast today. I'm excited to chat with you.
Hey, likewise, brother. How you been?
Doing good, man. It's just like we talked off camera, a little bit of a slower day today, but those are good to catch up on a lot of back end editing, follow ups, things of that nature. So things are good, man. And I'm excited to have you on. We met at the Small Business Expo in Columbus,
Yep.
which was an amazing event. So shout out to them. And we've just grown our relationship. So I'm very excited to dive into your story. Can you kind of talk about what your story was like before you started Signature Strategies and then what led you up to you then starting this business?
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, so my background in the workforce has been everywhere. Yeah, I've done the food industry at a very high position. Started my own businesses besides Signature Strategies, while I was working a full-time job at a director level position. So for the last, I would say 8, 9 years, I've been with a company called Chick-fil-A. I was a director of operations, and then did many of the different things within like marketing, travel, the grand opens, all that good stuff. But there's always been a side of me where I just love having a business. That's been a dream of mine. That's been something I wanted to do since I was like really young. And so one of my first business I started was a marketing agency back when I was in college while working part time and then doing school. I needed something that could bring a bit more money in the bill for to pay the bills and whatnot. And at that time, we're talking about like 2017. I hopped on the whole social media trend that was starting to, go out
Yeah.
there, right? Back 10 years ago, it wasn't really a big thing, but I hopped on the train really early and got a lot of clients through that. And so I did that through my 2 years I was there at IU. And then I was doing part time at Chick-fil-A. But once I graduated, Chick-fil-A kind of gave me an offer in a director level position and kind of went up with the company through there. And so throughout the years, I've just been moving up the corporate ladder, getting, outside of the restaurant, more in the corporate standard field. But there's still something I was like missing within me. Like it was good money, it was good company I worked for, but I wasn't satisfied. My passion is about people. My passion is helping others really succeed and drive towards their dreams. And so then I wanted something more that fulfilled me, where I can be there for others. And so I started a landscaping company. Um, because I felt like if I can bring value to people's properties and make them feel good, I love to see that. I love to help others in any way I can, in any form I can. And that blew off really well in 2021 to 2023. I ended up selling my shares, sold the company to one of my buddies who was a partner with me. So then do that, and now at this point, I was in Chick-fil-A still at a high level director of operations position, and decided, okay, I've done two businesses already that were really successful for me. I was working a 50-hour plus corporate job that I was stuck 9 to 5 on. I don't want to follow that trend for the rest of my life. What can I do that's bring me value in my life and where I can bring value to others in the business form, but also in the personality and in their leadership development. And how can I be a resource to people? And that's kind of where me and my buddy Connor, who's a co-founder of Signature Strategies, we came together. Like, he's really good on the financial side of things. I'm really good on the operations and leadership development side of things. And I was like, why don't we come together and we make a business where we use our talents, all the resources we've had throughout the years and all the knowledge, and why not help others kind of, you know, excel in their business? If it's from a startup where most people in this generation, they're talking about, business, right? A lot of the new generation, they want to do their own thing. They don't want to do a 9 to 5. They don't want to be stuck in a corporate level job. They want to start something, but they don't know how to. So how can we be a benefit to them? How can we help them through the journey? And then even people who are already in business, how can we help them excel in business? How can we help them, grow, or even develop their leaders that maybe they're good as an operator, they're good as a business owner, but they may not be as good as developing people, and that's kind of where we can come in. So it's kind of how Signature Strategies came together. We started doing a little testing back in 2024. Worked with a couple owner operators from food industries and then other industries that I've been a part of, and it blew off. And so we kind of went official May of 2025, and got the licenses, everything, and made it official. And so now here we are. What is it? September It's been nice, like almost 5, 6 months, and it's been nothing but blessings. So that's kind of like a quick short story for me. But yeah, that's how I got here.
I love it. And something that you mentioned early on is the fact that you wanted to start a business that brought you purpose,
Yeah.
that brought you something more than just working a 9 to 5 job. Can you talk about what are the benefits of having a business that is driven by your purpose?
Well, I get to fulfill my purpose at a high standard level, right? In my position where I was working my 9 to 5, I was over in charge of people. I was in charge of, developing the restaurants and helping other business operators really grow. But at the end of the day, it wasn't Isaiah's company. It wasn't Isaiah's work. It was Chick-fil-A. It was whoever else I was involved with. I want to put a legacy in my name. And I want to put something where at the end of the day, where people talk about Isaiah, it's like, yeah, Isaiah built this business where he really focused on people and entrepreneurs and helping others grow. And he and his partners made an impact on everybody they come in contact with, but then also have a purpose within the business itself. I don't want to be any other business where we focus on money. Obviously, money's good, money's fun, but bringing value to others and helping really others really achieve their dreams and really succeed when they don't know what route to take, that gives me fulfillment in my purpose. And also my partners. So that's something that's why me and Connor came together. We both kind of feel the same and have the same vision on that. We have, like I've told you before, we have this saying called better together. And that we mean that better together in
Yeah,
any aspect. So why not succeed together in the world than leaving people behind?
absolutely. And one of the most difficult things is finding a partner that matches your value. And you said with Connor that you have now accomplished this. Can you kind of talk about what it was like trying to find a business partner that matched not only your drive, but also your values?
Well, lucky for me, I was lucky with this. Me and Connor go way back. We met in college and we've been like buddies ever since. He is the type of person who has really high drive, but just didn't know where to take that, how to take it from there. And we clicked really well. We clicked really well. Like we can finish each other's sentences at times. And it's just crazy how good of a chemistry we have. But through our relationships and our time together and learning from a friendship standpoint. I was his boss at one point in the workplace in Chick-fil-A. From a point where we were roommates, doing education, college, all this. We learned a lot from each other. Where he kind of brings value in my life and I bring value in his life, and it's like a partnership in some sort. And we always had this idea of like, man, we always joked around, what if we started a business together one day? What if we did this one day? What could we do? Jokingly around, just joking. And every year we just say something goofy about it. But then one day last year, we were like, why don't we? Like, you have experience in this field that you've been focused on, and I have a lot of experience in this field that I focused on. Why not come together and bring that value together? And we really thought about like, we can actually make that happen. I think we're in a position where we can actually move towards this, and why not? I trust him. I trust him 100%. And I believe he has the same drive as I do. He wants to get out the 9 to 5 cycle and he wants to do better and bring value to others in his life. And why not? Why not do it? Why not take the leap? Right? I trust him, and we fail together. We build together. We succeed together.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that you guys built that chemistry because I think that's not only an important aspect of business, but it's a necessary one to have that partner that you unconditionally trust, that is going to do the right things, that is going to have your back, that is going to match those values when you're not in the room with them. To now transition kind of into you working with other business owners, what is the most underrated skill you've seen that a successful business owner has to succeed?
Man, that's a tricky one because it's different with everybody, right? There's not really a trend because everybody has their own way of doing business. Some are more money focused, some are more people focused, and they both can be successful in some sort, right? But something that I really realized working with different entrepreneurs and leaders in the industry who are trying to move up or build their business even higher, um, it's leadership development of others, right? Emotional intelligence, that's a big one when we talk about how to lead people properly. A lot of people think it's easy. A lot of entrepreneurs think it's really easy. I think it's just okay. Hey, I just be nice to people. I just try to make people love me, and then they do whatever I need them to do. At the end of the day, that doesn't work like that. You can make people love you all you want, but if they don't see your vision, they don't understand your vision. They still might not follow you all the way. Doesn't matter how likable you
Yeah.
are, or even how tough you are. You can be the owner that's really tough on people who are like, hey, you're replaceable, you're this and that, like which no one likes, right? But even a boss like that, they're not going to follow you. So it comes down to
Yeah.
how leaders can actually lead. Like I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs be really good in operations, be really good in sales and marketing and all this, but they really lack leadership skills. And that either hindered them from growing to the level they're trying to grow, or they are growing, but they're leaving a lot of open gaps within their business that at some point it's going to come crumbling down, or they're going to lose a couple people that's keeping their business together. And then they're going to be in a spot where like, oh no, like what do I do? How do I get in this position in the first place? So it's
Yeah.
it's a really hard question to answer because everybody's different. But for me, I think leadership development skills are very important. They're a very big part of being an entrepreneur and even like yourself, right? I'm not a perfect leader. Like I've done my certifications, I've done my time training, all that, but I'm not perfect. I still lack in certain areas that I'm trying to grow in. I'm always reading books. I got a couple books right here next to me that I'm trying to, continue my knowledge. Simon Sinek is one of my favorite leadership people I follow really heavily
Yes.
on. I also follow Donald Miller a little bit as well. I just started reading some of his books, and amazing guy, really amazing. Story brand, just kind of putting out there, really great book. But yeah, so yeah, it's leadership, man. It comes to leadership. Every industry, every business has people in it. You can't run a successful multi-million dollar business by yourself, right? If you're trying to get to that level, you're not going to be by yourself. You need people, and to have people follow you, you have to be a great leader. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be great. Um, and there's always room for opportunities. You're never going to be the best leader out there. And I can tell myself that all the time. I know. And I always ask for feedback. Like I talked to Connor, I talked to Abby, who's my marketing director. Like, hey,
Yeah.
talk to me. What can I do better? Because, they might tell me nothing, but like, no, really, like, what did I do wrong this month that really upset you? That maybe I can
Yes.
change or really change the way I think or maybe I might be able to do something differently, whatever it is. I'm always looking to improve myself. And I think that's something very important that we can do as leaders. But also just shows that characteristic that you're trying to improve for others, not just for yourself. And I want to make this place a very great place to work at. Here are signature strategies, and the way I can do that is by asking feedback and how I can make it better.
I love it. And you mentioned that Simon Sinek has been a huge inspiration for you. What is one thing that you've really learned from his teachings that has impacted your life?
I follow this book. This is my favorite number one book. Great question. Leaders eat last. I don't know if you heard of that book or read that book yet, but leaders eat last. Now, to me, and read the book to know more about it. But to me, what I got out of it is you put people in front, put people in front of you, and people will succeed in whatever areas you're trying to have them succeed in. Right? If I want my business to go from point A to point B, I'm not going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on my people because my people are really taken care of and they're really driven and see my vision and my purpose. They're going to succeed for me, and I'm going to succeed at the end of the day. I'm putting my weight on them and making sure I'm there for them and giving them resources, and they're going to help me achieve the goals I'm trying to achieve. So whenever I'm in the group with my team or wherever, I kind of follow that leaders eat last. I always make sure they're taken care of first before I am. I'm always making sure they're good before I am. Obviously, as a business owner, right? They're getting paid before I get paid, right? They're gonna get enjoyment out of what I've been bringing into this business before I do, because they're doing the hard work. I'm growing the business from my side of things. I'm growing now, I'm going out there, but they're here on the back end doing the nitty gritty things that I'm not going to have time to do that they do, and I can't do this without them. Right? We need them. We need people. Leaders eat last. Put the people in front of you. And that's something he really, really strives on, and that's what I really love about him. And he talks about it in multiple different ways. But yeah, I love the guy. So. I also saw him in person once at a GLS
Nice.
conference a couple years ago. So it was a really great conversation I had with him. And we kind of talked about the book he made because at that point he just released it. But yeah, it was great. He's a great guy, great leader, and I follow a lot of his teachings.
That's awesome, man. Love that you got to meet him, and I've watched plenty of his content to agree fully with you. The way he teaches about dealing with people, humans, customer service, work culture is amazing. Now I want to dive into Isaiah the human.
Yeah.
You and Connor, as you mentioned, go way back. You guys started a business together after being friends. What did one thing, or what is one thing that you learned about yourself when you started a business with Connor?
I would say I was maybe not learned, but more worried. I was worried I was going to put a friendship before the business. Um, but I haven't had to be in that position at all. There's just maybe this is why we joked around all these years, like let's go to business together. But we've seen stories, we've seen videos, we've seen movies, we've seen all that stuff that actually happens real life and off script. Um, that you go in partnership with a friend and it just, you lose at the end, you lose your friend, you lose the business. We didn't want to risk that
Yeah.
because we really had a really tight friendship and we really backed each other up in the times we need each other. And we didn't really know how we were going to work at that level, right? It's not something we can test out and see how it goes. It's something that we either go all out, we don't. Building a business, no joke. I'm not going to waste, funds and time and just making see if this happens. But that's something we like even before we actually went for this and made it official. We sat down one day and we like talked seriously, like, hey, what do we do when we come to these situations? How do we do this? What happens if we face this type of situation? What if we're in different, paths? What if we believe different values at the like a year from now? How do we come together to still make this business successful without having to either cross over each other or being in a point where we're just arguing back and forth or not being able to work well? Because if we don't work well, our team is going to see that, our clients are going to see that, and our business. The whole point of what we do is going to be, like you guys talk about leadership does some of this, and that. Like it's going to show that we actually don't do that ourselves. Puts a bad example. So I think something that I learned was more patience for sure. At a different level, obviously, at a friendship level, sometimes patience is like being more, not there because you're friends. You'll be fine. You might get mad at each other. He'll call me tomorrow. We'll be fine. But and more of like in the level we're at right now when it comes to what is he doing while we're in our own different cities, or what is he doing when he's traveling, I'm traveling. Are we bringing value to the business? And we talk about it all the time. We call each other all the time, like, hey, this is what I did, this is what I'm doing, what do you need from me, what do you need for what do I need from you, type of questions. Always finding ways to work better together and being able to bring value to the business every week. So yeah, so it's not about what I learned about myself. It's more about what I was afraid of and what I had to learn how to avoid this problem. But luckily, I mean, I haven't had to, see that situation happen or anything like that, right? And we hope that down the road we don't ever run into a situation like that. But if we do, we know and we've talked about how we're going to go through things and how we're going to come together from a business aspect, not a friendship aspect. And because at the end of the day, we both put our heart and souls into this company, and we both want to make it successful. And for us to do that, we both have to think at a business level instead of a friendship level. So, yeah, hope that answers the question.
No, that was great. And I love how you talked about how you guys had a pre conversation to lay the value structure, lay the expectations of what's going to happen if this comes up, what's going to happen if this comes up. And I think that's really important for business owners to take away from this conversation is make sure you do have those tough conversations even before you get into business because you and your best friend might not value the same things. Maybe they have a family and you don't. You want to work long hours, they can't. So I think that is very, very important. I have three more questions for you, Isaiah.
Go for it, man.
One thing you said earlier in the conversation, which I loved, is you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be great. You're also very passionate about leaving a legacy for yourself. If you could give us one sentence of how you want to be remembered in the world, what would that be?
Isaiah was all about people, plain and simple. I was all about others. I was never selfish. I was never about myself. I was there to provide value and bring greatness to others. And their greatness makes my greatness even greater. In some terms, yeah, I'm all about people. I care about people, especially in this generation, man. This generation cares a lot about culture, and a lot of the older folks in business don't see that yet, which is crazy. It's 2025. This has been a problem since like 2020. you know, Ever since after COVID, things changed, things shifted, and people realized that there's more to life. You never know what happens, and they don't want to be stuck in this 9 to 5. And if they are stuck in a 9 to 5, maybe they love what they do. That's fine. But then it comes down to leadership. Is there development in them, right? Are they growing every year? Are they learning something new? Are they moving up the ladder? Whatever it is, that's what people in this new generation wants. And that's something that we just got to focus on moving forward. Like, it's got about people. It's got to be about people. This world wouldn't function without people, and we always want to see the greatness out of everybody. So, like I said, better together. Don't leave everybody behind. We can do this. We all do our part. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Two more questions for you. If you could have dinner with two people, one person from the past and one person from the present, who would it be and why?
Oof. From the present, Simon Sinek, hands down. Like I said, dinner. Heck yeah, man. I got so many questions. From the past, oh man, that's a tough one. I would say, I would say my grandma. Reason why is because I never really met her. She died when I was a really young age. And my parents talked so much about her and her knowledge and what she was able to teach my parents, my mom specifically. It was on my mom's side. So, but I learned a lot from my mom. I learned a lot from my dad. My mom brought a lot about people, a lot about care in this world, and she got it all from my grandmother. And she talked so highly of her that I've always wanted and wondered how just one sit down conversation would be with her, and what can I get from it. So, whatever that may look like, if I could go back in time, have one nice dinner, I'd be with my grandmother.
That's beautiful. I always love when people pull from the past of someone that was a family member or close friend that's passed away. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was beautiful. I have one more question for you, Isaiah. Why did why did you decide to partner with us and offer the discounts?
Ever since we met, since Small Business Expo, dude, I just love the program. Like you say to people, it's literally free for consumers and us. So why not? You would be really making a mistake if you didn't take this opportunity. Like, you're trying to grow something big. Yeah, right. Like, maybe I didn't hear about Digitry Free before, but why not give you guys a chance and really support you guys? It's not costing me anything. All I gotta do is really put my information in your website, in your app, and help you build it. So why not? It's a win in both worlds. And obviously, I want to see you guys succeed. And when you guys get to the level where you guys are so big, we're going to be there with you. So why not join you from the start? I think it's a value that comes both ways. And I think you guys are doing great. You guys want to help other businesses really be out there and get more exposure, which is something like, well, like I said, we do. We help others, right? You guys help others too. So I think our values and that come aligned. And why not? Ever since we had that conversation in that speed networking round, like, okay, I want to know more. Let's call like after this conference. And that's what we did. So yeah, love DigiFree, love Digi discounts. I'm all for you guys. Great program, great business. Yeah, I'm all supportive about it.
Thank you for trusting us. We appreciate not only you trusting us early before we even had the app, but we just appreciate all your support, all your kindness, the videos that you make for us. So we just appreciate you in every aspect. And like you said, we are here to grow together. And if you're supporting us, why wouldn't we support you back? Why wouldn't we help you grow? Like that is the way how it works. We can all win together. We don't need to push someone down to have us win. So we appreciate your kind words. We appreciate your support and it's everything that you've done so far and we're excited to grow with you. Isaiah, that's all the questions I have for you. How can people find you and what is one thing you want to leave people with?
Yeah, so they can find me on our social media platforms, so the Signature Strategies LLC, or they can go on our website, www.signaturestrats.com. I'm pretty sure Easton will leave like detailed description above or something. But yeah, you guys find there. And something I want people to know, or what would you say, leave, right? Um,
Yep.
Keep doing what you're doing. Do what you love. And if you're just listening to this podcast and you have that vision that you want, that dream that you want to do something on your own, but you still you're scared to do that or you're afraid that might not work out, dude, just do it. Go for it. You live once. You live once. This is the perfect time to do it. The youngest you'll ever be is today, right? You can't go back in time. Every day you move forward, you're getting older. So the youngest you'll be is today. So go for it. Do it properly. Obviously, don't just like quit your job and go for it. But be smart about it, plan it out, and actually make the leap. So yes, it's scary. Yes, it's nerve wracking, but I promise you, it's gonna be worth it at the end of the day. You put your heart and soul into it, and you do whatever you can to make sure you're successful, and you have a good guidance from coaches or just researching. Right, do a lot of research. There's so much content out there. I'm pretty sure you can find something you're looking for. So go for it. Do what you love. Don't be stuck in this cycle like everybody else is. Do something different. Be different. And that's what I do. But at the end of the day, make sure it's all about people though. Like I said, better together in this world.
Yes. Isaiah, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I love how we hit on the point many times about it's about people more than about the money. It's about value more than about the money. I loved how you focused on that point and how we were able to express that. How for you, it is truly all about people. So I just want to say again, thank you for coming on the podcast. If you could stay in the room after and then we can talk after. And again, man, thank you for coming on and it was a great conversation.
Hey, likewise, brother. I appreciate the opportunity. This was fun. And like one more time, like what you said, right? All about people. People will bring you money. So it's gonna be benefit both ways. Why not? Right. But yeah, man, I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.